Good morning, guys. Welcome to reading class. Let's continue with the story Marvin of the Great North Woods. Let's remember these characters, Marvin. Let's continue reading 266 to 269. You are going to read taking turns. So
Because I didn't read no one of the classes.
I have a list here.
I want to read Santiago first.
I have a list of the students that read yesterday. Santiago, okay? Santiago can't read today because he didn't read yesterday. So remember, this story is about a boy. Actually, it's about a family that live in Russia. And they moved to...
Miss, my internet is slow.
Okay. So they moved to America, escaping from the persecution of Jews, against Jews. When they arrived to America, well, they look at the family. They are 1, 2, 3, 4 girls, 1 boy, mother and dad. So they were a 7-member family. But during 1918, sorry, an influenza epidemic swept the country. And the only way to save them was escaping from the cities, because in the cities the epidemic was terrible because of the number of population. The only way they could do was so they decided to save at least one of their children. That was a tough decision to take. Imagine, decide which kid I am going to save. All of them are their children, but they had to decide for one, and they did it for the only boy they had, because they said
this story is too sad.
yeah, because they send it to a lumber camp. So the boy is going to be with lumberjacks. That was not an appropriate place for girls. That's why they decided to send the boy. His name is Marvin, but he was very smart, and he started learning. And if you remember the 2 questions you copied from yesterday,
Miss,
mentioned that he made 2 different jobs. He was a bookkeeper, and also he has to wake up the lumberjacks that didn't get up when the alarm clocks sounds. The alarm clocks sounds every 5 minutes. I think 5 a.m., 5:15, 5:20, 5:25. They have to wake up early. So if they didn't, Marvin go to their beds and wake them up. Okay, we're gonna start reading here on page 260, 66, did it say? Do you remember?
Yes.
266. Okay.
You know what I do if they don't wake up? I grab
You can sprinkle some water, right?
water. I grab water and I throw it in the face of the person.
Yeah, you can sprinkle some water on the face. Yeah, and they were in a very cold place. Okay, Santiago, start reading.
okay. All the Fairville. Marvin was related to see 2 jacks climb out of bed.
Okay.
Believed. He thought there must to be a brat. He drew Benslin for something like this. His father knew all sorts of branches. Blessings for seeing the sunrise. Blessing for the first blossom of spring. Was there a brooch for a rising lumberjack? If he said a brat, maybe the other 3 would get up on their own. One lump tried, then another. They grunt, rolled, and climbed out of under the corpse. Their huge shadows sealed across the ceiling.
Ceiling. Their huge shadows slid across the ceiling. The ceiling is el techo, pero por dentro. Okay. So they, because I think this one, this word, that one.
Yesterday.
Hebrew. This is hebreo. Hebreo. For example, remember they were Jewish. They were Jewish. And they prayed in Hebrew. In Hebrew. Let's see if I can play a Jewish.
A what?
A Jewish. A Jewish.
Okay.
I just want you to listen.
Miss,
Uh-huh.
I don't read yesterday.
Yeah, I know, because I have a list. But I just want to play something, but I can't find something appropriate. No, this is too loud. Have you heard Shabbat Shalom? Shabbat Shalom. Well, El Shabbat is a Jewish celebration and begins on Friday in the afternoon when the sun sets, cuando se pone el sol. Listen to it. This is Hebrew.
What is that? Miss, what I think is I hear it like is a song of a joke.
This is Hebrew language. Son oraciones en hebreo. And Jewish people make praise, las oraciones en hebreo. And they sing las oraciones. Remember, this family were Jewish. In America, yes, but they were Jewish. Okay, continue. Let's see, Kristen. Continue, Kristen.
One jack was still in the sack. Marvin took a deep breath, walked
Bravely
over to the bed, reached out and taped Jack's shoulder.
And tapped. Do you need it bigger? Because I don't know if you are working with, let me see if I can magnify the yeah. Okay, continue. Aha, and says tapped the Jack's shoulder like this. Why? Because there was a man. Please let me continue reading because I need to finish the pages that I have to read, and then you have to copy something in your notebook. In here says that there is one lumberjack that was still in the bed, and Marvin tapped on his shoulder. Continue. It
was like poking a
granite boulder. Remember, the boulder is a huge rock. So he was, of course, they are very strong and they have big muscles because they cut down trees. Continue. The jacks
bird ran right into his long, shaggy hair. Marvin couldn't
couldn't even
Find
find an ear to show into his cup.
No, usted, you read he into hiccup. Ajá, y este punto, what happened? He even says Marvin couldn't even found an ear to shout into. Why? Because this lumberjack was crowded of hair. Estaba lleno de pelo. So that's what it said, that he couldn't even find an ear. ¿Para qué? Para gritarle and wake him up. Continue.
He clapped his hands around his mouth and leaned forward, up.
Mhm.
The jack groaned and muttered.
Grunted,
And muttered.
mhm,
Something in French.
French.
Get up, Marvin.
Pleaded.
Pleaded. Another jack pulled on his boots.
Levet toy. This is a word in French. Ajá.
Levet toy. Jean Lowe's.
Luis.
Louis Levet toy. And
Shuffle. Mhm. Shuffle out the door.
And shuffle out the door.
Good. Next one, Iris.
Okay, Miss. Levet toy. Jean Louis. Wait.
Here.
Lenton Mare read repeat.
Red.
Jean
No se coman la GD. This is like this one. Crystal says grunt. Sí, hasta aquí leyó, ¿ve? Y la ED. Repeat, hasta la T. Y la ED. So it's repeated. Grunted.
Run.
No, granted says here. Repeated here. Marvin repeated.
Repeated. Jean Louis opened one eye. It glittered
Mhm.
like a blue star. Winter
Beneath.
beneath his thick black eyebrow. His eyebrow.
Mhm.
He glinted as if trying to make out the shape in front of him. Then
Blinked. No. What happened with the word finishing K? Y tiene una ED. This one, make a T sound. I already explained that since the beginning of 4th grade. Blinked.
blinked and sat up. Bonjour, Marvin. Is there? ¿Quién es tú?
Mhm.
¿Quién esto no? I don't speak French. Just bonjour, tere, and joy.
Level toy.
That's all.
That's all? That's a question. That's all? No more?
That's all, no more. The man opened his eyes
Wide now. Continue.
Why now? So what is your name?
Name?
Marvin.
Marvin. This one is a question.
Marvin.
So what is your name? Marvin. Continue.
Marvin. Gently repeat has it.
Oh, you didn't read the ED? Again, same mistake. Repeat it.
As if
No, you say like has, as, if,
as if as if testing the sound of his name.
Okay, thank you. So next one, Melanie. Remember that I have a list. So kids are not gonna read 2 times. Here,
Yes, miss.
continue.
Okay.
Up to here.
Okay. Will you get up? Marvin asked anxiously.
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 Ajá.
Anxiously.
Ujú.
Jean Louis wrote and fixed him in the hard mood.
Ajá.
Quite of one eye. Please, Marvin stood straight and tried to
Not to.
tremble. Not to tremble. Jean Louis
Jean-Louis. Granted, good.
and swung his feet from beneath the covers. They were as big as skeletons, and one of his huge
Toe. It's a compound word. Toe. Nails.
toenails was red, black, and blue. Marvin tried to not to stare.
Now to stare. Okay. Hazel, continue.
Marvin and Jean Louis were the last to arrive at the breakfast table. The only sounds were those of chewing and the clink of forks and knives against the plates. At each place were 3 stacks of flapjacks.
Pancakes, right?
One
Steak.
steak, 8 strips of bacon, and a bowl of oatmeal. In the middle of the table were bowls of potatoes and beans, with molasses, platters, with pies and cakes, and blue jugs,
Jobs.
violet tea,
Field.
coffee, and milk.
That's a lot of things for breakfast. Flapjacks are pancakes. A big steak es un bistec, un trozo de carne grande. Bacon, oatmeal, potatoes, beans with molasses. Probably that's what, like a dressing, quizás como algún aderezo, something like that. Pies, cakes, tea, coffee, and milk. That's a lot of things for breakfast, right? Okay, continue with Daniel. Here, Daniel, read. Look at the table.
Marvin stared at the food in dismay. It's not kosher, he thought. In Marvin's house, it was against Asian Jewish law to eat dairy products and meat together, and never ever did a Jew eat bacon.
Yeah, wait. Okay, wait. Why it says, and never ever did a Jew eat bacon. Why? Because Jewish people don't eat pork. Los judíos no comen cerdo. So any product that comes from pork, from a pig, Jewish people eat. Nothing. No bacon, no costillas, chicharrones, nothing. Chorizos, nothing that comes from pigs. Okay, that's part of the culture. It is against, if they think the pig is un animal prohibido. They cannot eat it, according to their religion. Continue, Daniel.
Marvin came to a quick decision. One day he would eat the flapjacks and oatmeal with milk. The next day he would eat
He would
eat the steak and
the steak and the oatmeal
without milk and never the bacon.
Bacon, exactly. Maria Jose, continue.
For the breakfast, as they did every morning, the Jacks went to the tool house to get their saws and axes. Then, wearing snowshoes and pulling huge
Sleds
filled with equipment, they made their way into the great woods.
Sorry. Let me, okay, read.
Where they would work all day. Marvin went directly to his office after breakfast. Mr. Murray was already there. Setting out Marvin's work, a fresh pot of ink was
Thawing in a bowl. Thawing is melting. Okay.
of hot water on the wood stove. There were 2 boxes on the desk full with scraps of paper, cord sheets. Mr. Murray said, the Jacks are paid according to numbers of cords they cut in a pay period. 2 weeks.
What is the period? 2 weeks. So they are paid every 2 weeks. They receive salary, payment, money. Okay. So let's see who I do have next. Christopher, read please.
Christopher, now open the microphone.
Christopher, it's your turn.
Yes, it's your turn, Christopher.
Be quiet, please, Iris. Okay, Suak. Hello, Christopher. It's your turn to read. Microphone, Christopher. Microphone, Christopher. Christopher, you're gonna lose points, unfortunately, because you don't want to read. And I have no excuse from your mom telling me that you have problems. You always connect to classes, but you don't want to participate. That's a problem. That's a problem. I want to give you the opportunity to read, but you don't want. Okay. We only have 2 more minutes for this class. So I am going to finish reading this one, this part. And as yesterday, we are not going to be able to copy. We are not going to be able to copy the classwork. Yes, so you have to do it. The pictures is in a Schoology. You can copy from there. It says you figure it out. I'm not good as a bookkeeper and have enough all the things to do around here. Each sheet should have the Jack's name, or if he can't write his symbol. People probably, not all the lumberjacks can read and write. That's what it says. The sheet, this one is un vale. This. So let's say that it's like a check, como un cheque, como un recibo. And it says, each check, cada uno de los vales should have the jack's name or a symbol. See, el Jack cannot write. His symbol, Marvin asked weakly. Yeah, Jean-Louis is a thumbprint. Es un thumbprint, una huella. Here's one. He held up the small piece of paper with a thumbprint on it the size of a baby fist. Oh my goodness, a baby fist. Un baby fist es el puño. Y del tamaño del puño de un bebé, así es el thumbprint. Qué grandes esos dedos. Grandes. And what else it says? Jean-Louis. Yes, Jean-Louis is a thumbprint. Like a baby fist. Marvin blinked. Yes, I did too. I did it. I blinked. I was surprised, amazed because of the size of the hands of these lumberjacks. It was all very confusing. Sometimes two names were on one sheet. These were called doubles. There were even some triplets. This meant more calculations. And sometimes sheets were in the wrong pay period box. Marvin sat staring at the scraps. There is no system, he muttered. Where to begin? His mother always made a list when she had made things to do. So first, Marvin listed the Jack's names alphabetically. He was a very organized boy, right? And noted the proper symbols for those who could not write. Then he listed the dates of a single pay period, coded each sheet with the dates and with a ruler, made a chart. By the end of the morning, Marvin had a system and knew the name or symbol for each man. What a smart boy. There were many sheets with the huge thumbprint of Jean-Louis. Every day Marvin worked until midday. Midday is hasta el mediodía. When he went into the cookhouse and ate baked beans and 2 kinds of pie with Mr. Murray and the cook. After lunch, he returned to his office and worked until the Jacks returned from the forest for supper, for dinner. By Friday of the second week, Marvin had learned his job so well that he finished early. He had not been on his skis since he had arrived at camp. Every day, the routine was simply meals and work, and Marvin kept to his office and away from the lumberjacks as much as he could. But today he wanted to explore. So he put on his skis and followed the sled path into the woods. It was a different day. He went into the woods. So what is the work you have to do? Question number 1, which is the number 3, right? Because yesterday you copied, no. Yeah, but you're not gonna be able to finish. It's time already, but how did Marvin feel about walking up the sleeping lumberjack? He was timid and frightened because he is a little boy and the lumberjacks are huge men with big muscles, very strong, huge hands. That's why he felt he was timid and frightened. Who was Jean-Louis? He was one of the late risers lumberjacks in the bunk house. Now look at the French words that appeared in the pages we read. Adriana, attention.
I can answer the second one. Bonjour means hello.
Write the meaning of the following French phrases. Levez-toi. What does it mean? Get up. Bonjour. What does bonjour mean? You receive French.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Means, we don't know that means. We don't know that means. We don't know the word levez-toi.
But that's what it is. Get up. Qui es tú?
Now we know. Now we know.
No.
Who are you? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? What does
No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Me, teacher. Do you know that
Don't
to say
do
numbers
that.
in French is numbers?
What is your name?
Excellent. What is your name? I was asking you, what is nom? This word. It means name. So that is,
Lovely.
eso es, ajá, usted está, like guessing.
This presentation will be in
It is in
Schoology.
a Schoology already. And the last one,
Okay.
the rear.
I saw it. Yesterday I saw it and I was like, who is that man with a lot of hair?
Yes, the rear means behind. So this image is in a Schoology. You have to write it down in your notebook and submit your picture. All of you have to do it because we don't have time to finish.
Miss, tomorrow in the class of French, I'm gonna say to the mister, level 2.
Okay, let's see what it says, and then you tell me, okay? Then you tell me what happened in your French class after you
Yes,
said
I'm
that.
gonna tell you in science tomorrow. In science tomorrow.
In science tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah, because Miss, I have a question.
okay, Hazel. Quickly.
That what we're gonna do in science.
Oh my God, that's in science. We're gonna talk about the ear and something related with the sounds, okay? See you in the next class.
Please don't
Bye-bye.
come and taste, Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Por favor,